to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Why is my button not working? Alright, give me a second, chat. I gotta use my mouse over here. Let me bring down the music. Let me switch over to a different layout. We'll just go straight over to the full screen in cam today because the buttons are not working. Hopefully if I restart the software, maybe it will work again. But in the meantime, let's say hello. How is everyone doing? It is Thursday, April 10th, and we have... Oh, I forgot to do one more thing, so let me do that. Thursday, April 10th, and it has been a little wild. I honestly thought the market was going to bounce today, but that's not how it played out at all. We did not bounce. There were no buyers. Big move to the downside again. I mean, on the bigger spectrum of the chart, it doesn't really look that bad, I guess. You know, we were up, like, what was the percentage that the market was up? It's not all the way back to the new opening price, right, where the stock market started its rally. It's not all the way back. It sold off, but it did manage to bounce, and you can see how we basically traded back and forth around yesterday's VWAP. So basically did half of what I think we would do, but you know, still was very surprised to actually get below the news VWAP itself and not make a move back towards the opening high. So that being said, does that mean that your boy Pratty Daddy had a bad day because he was expecting for a bounce? No, not at all. I actually had a green day because even though I was expecting a bounce from the market, all I had to do was focus on some of the names that we prepared for last night. We prepared for KMX, we prepared for Micron, Amazon, well, KTTA, we couldn't really prepare for that. It's a small cap name, was active in pre-market, set up for a beautiful short. I took advantage of that short. But all the other stocks, you know, we basically prepared for these ones. Pinduoduo, KMX, Amazon, and those were my best trades on the day. Amazon could have been so much better. Once again, your boy was so close to glory, but always short, so short away from it. Didn't size more today. Because of my last 2 days' performance, you know, I was trading horribly off the open, and then I would work all day to make that money back, and then end break even both days back to back. So it was like, okay, I'm happy that I'm break even, not losing money on the day, but I'm also not making money on the day, so it's not happy with that aspect. So with that affected my confidence a little bit. Sized down on some of my trades, but managed to get the most juice out of them for the best that I could, at least. So let's talk about the first trade that I took, KMX, or I think the first trade I took was actually Pinduoduo. First trade was Pinduoduo. The whole idea was looking for the continued weakness in the China sector. And Baba was actually not weak. FXI was also positive, if I remember correctly. So Baba was actually not weak. It was positive on the day. If I remember showing you guys yesterday on stream that Baba was bouncing off of the 200-day moving average. So if there is any stocks that I'm very interested to short in the Chinese sector, it's going to be the one that's below the 200-day moving average, and also the one that's actually negative on the day. So Pinduoduo was the one that I picked. Pop into VWAP, some weakness. You can see how a seller on each pop on these candles was stuffing the stock down, and they were getting short on those areas. So I just offered into that area to look for a fill, and then on the way down, I should have taken possibly the breakout, or could have added on the break of one of these candle lows to add more size. But you know, noticing how strong Baba was, I didn't want to jinx myself and ruin my day by taking more size and then not taking the right appropriate stop, giving it more risk, trying to make the trade work. So all those things were playing in the back of my head. Also, like I said, yesterday's performance, the day before that performance off the open, might not want to be looking to add that ridiculous size off the open. There's going to be better trades later on in the day if you're looking at it. And I didn't take one of the better trades, but I did take one of the other better trades that Pinduoduo set up. So anyways, starting with the short on a VWAP bounce off the open, adding on the opening range breakdown over here, but that I immediately take my stop. I see that the seller around 91.50 is still there. It wasn't 91.50, I think this was 91.50, was still there around that area. So I figured you know, I could get short and then risk that area high, not even having to give it to VWAP. But what do you know, it actually goes to VWAP, goes right back into the actual opening range low, which was that, right? So this is the you can say the 30-minute opening range low. This was the 5-minute opening range low. End of day, it pulled back to the opening range breakdown low. It pulled back to VWAP, was not able to get back above $92 at all and find buyers above it. And basically the seller who was here earlier in the day, possibly now active from here, and positioning themselves to go to the downside, almost like they knew a certain news was gonna come out later on in the day. We'll talk about that news in a bit. So I didn't take the short. I think I was too busy with KMX. I figured, let me focus on KMX. This might be a better trade for me to really put my eggs in at the moment, and I was right. KMX was already down quite a bit. It was down about like 13%, so it's SSR. Thankfully, I'm able to get short on the pop into VWAP, and then on the breakdown, I didn't actually get filled on the breakdown because it's SSR. So I had to chase the stock, and I chased it a little bit further than I would have liked it to. Thankfully, the stock never really went against me, but right as it drops to the downside into $66, or I think it was actually $65.50, there was some size on the bid, and the stock was bouncing off of that bid. And noticing that, I figured, you know, the smart thing to do would be taking some profits over here. It would be very painful to watch the stock go right back to VWAP and me not taking any profits, and all the stock does for the rest of the day is trade sideways or actually go reversal. So let me cover some, and then if I really like the trade and if the size breaks, I can always add back to that position and use this high as a stop for my full trade. And thankfully, never had to make that decision. Continues to go to the downside. I take some scalps on the way down, and then I try to see if I can hold it for a bigger move lower, but the stock never manages to give me that bigger move. Trade sideways around 63, much later into the 67 again as it pops, looking for that pop and reject of that opening range low. It does give me what I'm looking for, but no follow through on each drop back. It just gets bought right back up. So I basically get out for break even over there on KMX. And then I go back to Pinduo Duo, because this time Pinduo Duo is now forming a beautiful range between $90 and $90.50 for a really long time at low a day. So I'm offering into that range high, and then over here it doesn't really break $90. It does one of those failed breaks, or not really failed, a false break of 90 where it looks like it's breaking 90, but it never really breaks 90. It just like flashes below 90 for a second and it pops back, and the iceberg buyer, the invisible buyer, is just continuously buying. So that happens a couple times. I notice it and I say, okay, I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm now going to just wait for 89.89 to break. So if 89.89 breaks, I'll then get back into the trade, and that actually ends up giving me a beautiful trade to the downside, right back into yesterday's low where the stock bounces right off of that area. I try again at the $90 where like it looks like a possible second chance scalp. Try back again at the 90. I take my stop at 90.50, so that gets stopped out, but immediately you can see how the stock plummets back down. So getting back into that position and getting stopped out for break even over there. Wah, wah, wah. Overall, I think not break even. I actually lose some money here, and I lose some money here too, if I'm being honest with you. But overall, still very profitable trade for me. Quick little scalps over here and over here. Wish I was a little active over here too, but I made my choice. I picked my fight, and I fight with the KMX, which ended up being profitable, so I'm not going to be too mad about it. Amazon. This was a beautiful second chance scalp short. So right here is the opening range low. The stock breaks the opening range low with the rest of the market and pops right back into the opening range low, rejects that area, gives you a beautiful short, but I just have to ruin the trade for myself. I don't know, I overthink things, I make some bad decisions, and I miss out on what is like I'm short 183, 184. This goes to 176. So how many dollars per share is that? I missed out on a lot of money over here on Amazon, so that one really hurt my mental a little bit. This is where I could have really rode home, right? You know, that's a beautiful entry, but these exits are, what the fuck, Brad, right? The rule was to take the first exit at this previous low. If I'm taking that second chance scalp according to SMB Capital, the first exit spot was right around that low, and then trailed the next exit on 5-minute candles. Actually, let's go do this math right now, okay? Let's go do this math. I messed with this trade too much and I deserve the punishment. So let's go get punished a bit. So short right here, 184, where I have a line from the hourly chart. If you've been watching my streams, you know we had that line from a long time. So stock market, or sorry, Amazon pulls right back to the level on 184 area, which is what we were kind of holding above all day. It also happens to be the 9 EMA on the 5-minute. Awesome. So now I'm basically getting short, and I don't have to risk too much on this. Maybe 50 cent risk at best, and taking the 50 cent risk you immediately get like what is it, a $1.50 move right here, $1.60. That's already a $2 risk to reward position right there for you to play with, right? Goes to 182.30, which I remember was the low of day. At that point, you take out your first exit over there, and if you trail 5-minute bar highs, I guess you would have taken out some profits over here. And then I guess that's what happened to me then. Is that what happened to me? I'm pretty sure that's what happened to me. But after that, it never really broke 5-minute bar highs until this area. So lots of regret over there if I got stopped out on the 5-minute bar high. Let's actually see if that's what happened. This is around 11:40. Maybe that's what happened, and I said c'est la vie. Like I just took my you know, it is what it is. I just walked away with it. But oof, if I had more size, that would have been one more trail all the way down, because then I would have trailed more 5-minute bars and then 9 EMA and so on. So I guess I did the right thing. I can't be too mad, but it's the lack of size that's possibly the issue. Could have also punched back if I really liked that trade that much. You can see how it tried to hold over here for a little bit. There was a little buyer stepping up right back into last week's or was it yesterday's VWAP? Right into yesterday's VWAP, a buyer was stepping up into that area, and once that buyer got cracked, even more downside showed up. So if I really liked that trade, I could have jumped in right there too, but I think I got sidetracked by some other positions. Usually I have a very horrible habit where as soon as I get stopped out of a trade, I stop looking at it for the whole day sometimes, which is a very, very bad habit, because some of your best names offer you even better trades if you're patient and disciplined enough for them. But that's a habit that I have been trying to kick and doing a pretty good job at it. For example, PDD today, some of the other stocks for the whole week today or this week, you know, I've been doing a pretty good job at that. KTTA, a small cap name. Haven't traded small cap stocks in a long time, but Benzinga Squawk. This is where awesome tools like Benzinga come into play. Benzinga is also going to be very useful for us starting next week as earnings season's back on board. Tomorrow pre-market, we got earnings from banks, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, at least the ones that we care about. Those are the three names on board. But as I was saying, I have Benzinga Squawk playing all day throughout the trading hours. And in the morning, I heard the Benzinga Squawk guy mention that KTTA, which was a stock I already did a little bit of research about, using my other friend over here at Flash Research, quickly saw that, you know, KTTA statistics, it's gapped up 7 times before. It's closed red about 70% of the time. It usually pops into the pre-market high and then sells off into the close. So looking at all of those statistics, I figured, you know, I'll care about this name if it pops into the pre-market high. So as soon as the Benzinga Squawk guy mentioned, hey, this stock is going up here, I quickly ran over to our work big desk, punched into the shares that I needed for the shorts, because you got to pay for shorts. Quickly paid for shorts, got the short on the failed break of the pre-market high, and basically let the stock go all the way to the downside for me. The break of opening range low, I was telling myself not to punch this, mainly because the levels on the stock were not that juicy. Like adding here at 160, when you think that the stock will stall out at 140, that EV is not really that good compared to being short at $2 and risking 30 cents and making what, like 60 cents, right? So I'm basically making 2:1 from here to here. And taking this is barely even a 1:1, depending on where your stop is and everything, obviously. But taking that trade, in my opinion, was not a good call, and that's why you can see how quickly I was with taking my stop and walking away from this trade, because I broke my rule. I told myself not to take that trade, not to take it, and I still did it. Thankfully, that entry all the way up there is so beautiful, that it does not matter about this entry down here at all. And also, I made the smart decision to take way less size than what I did up here, because I was like, okay, if you really want to do it, if you want to scratch the itch because you're a crackhead, do it with way less size than you have already on board. So that also really saved me. So a couple smart decisions over there, even though my old tendencies, my old crackhead Prad coming in and wanting to take that, I still made the right read. I figured there wasn't much move on this stock, making the right calls, right reads. Today I was in the flow state. I don't know how, because I didn't really get any sleep, but still in the flow state. Morning felt good, the whole day felt good. I was trading clean. I did lose some stocks. We'll talk about it right now. I did lose in some positions, but I was trading clean. I was trading well. You obviously wasn't making the best decisions. Because if I was, then I would be trading Amazon better. I'd be trading this stock over here, Micron. Is it Micron? MU? Micron. I'd be trading Micron better over here too. So let's talk about this. Micron tries to reclaim VWAP, a clear weakness, so getting short on the break below VWAP. Adding on what seems like a little weak seller forming in this area, but quickly taking exit on that added size and then holding the original size. Eventually I just got bored of holding this name. I figured I think Pinduoduo at this time was more important to me. It was the time where Pinduoduo was possibly getting ready to break that $90 area, so I figured for the amount of size I have on board on Micron, it's not worth my time and energy. I'd rather focus that energy and time on Pinduoduo and actually take that breakout with size. And I did that with size, so I'm happy with what I did there. But this was very easily manageable, right? 5-minute bar highs, just let it move. This one I just decided to punch out and said I don't want to manage it. But even that small size that I had, that would have given me another $2.5 per share. For barely risking anything. So bad decision over here, bad decision. Flow state, a couple decisions were bad. Here's another bad decision today. Nvidia was thinking that the market could bounce. You remember my stream from yesterday. I said if the market holds yesterday's VWAP or the news VWAP, I could see a bounce on it. And over here, Nvidia first drops to the downside, bounces, and then on each pullback it actually starts to make a higher low, and it looks like we could potentially, there's a battle here, right? There's a seller, there's a buyer, they're battling each other out. In that case, you know what, let me try to slip some size. I don't have to risk too much because I'm just trying to see if this buyer is going to be strong enough to wipe out that seller and push it higher, at which point then I add up here, but clearly the seller is way stronger and way more powerful, and they actually managed to crack to the downside. I was ready to add back again after getting stopped out, but taking a loss on Nvidia, and I figured, you know what, why am I bothering with this name? I could just go trade KMX or Pinduoduo, and I made the right decisions there. Walmart, we talked about this name yesterday on stream, so I was watching this. It did have exactly the same pattern that I talked about, so I was very bullish and ready to look for this long today. Sadly, I think the market kind of ruined this long for us. Still the tariff uncertainty. I mean, for now, 90-day pause, yay, but what happens after 90 days? How much of Walmart products are from China? So there's still a lot of questions over there. I think today we actually got a news article or headline coming out saying they begun collecting the Chinese tariffs, right? So Walmart potentially not going to be a big bull case because of that Chinese ties. So watching that play out, I guess looking for the long because of that was the wrong idea, but I still played the technical. You got a nice bull flag coming into right into yesterday's high, exactly what I wanted, and looking for the bull flag high breakout for a bigger move up to the north side. Never really played out, and taking my loss. I could have cut that loss way quicker. You can see how right here you have it tries to get lower, it gets bought right back up, we make a new high a day, but that new high a day gets stuffed right back down, and then we now break this range low. That little range low break, I could have taken my stop out right there, or even my break even stop potentially in the same area somewhere, and then walked away from the trade without actually taking the full hit that I took on this one. And you know, if I did that, I would have actually made more money on the day, but I'm not upset with what I did. I wanted the variance, I gave it the move, I gave it the chance to see the opportunity if we have a bounce off of VWAP, if we have a buyer in this area stepping up again, but nope, none of that. Market weak, Walmart weak, tariffs suck, everything sucks. So yeah, those are my trades on the day. Hopefully a couple quick little ideas for you guys on how to actually day trade. Sometimes, you know, I can put on a clinic for you and show you exactly what to do, but sometimes it's like, what the heck am I even doing? Do I even know what to do? Do I have any idea what to do? Please join Jackaroo Trades and me now on live stream. Come bring your questions. This is awesome.
Yep, for sure, for sure. But it's just so that is you talk.
Kim Ann is actually pretty cool. She is a trading psychology coach, a trading coach, live coach. She does these sessions, I think, every week. I don't know exactly what day of the week, so I'm not gonna guess. But she's awesome, and sometimes I've hopped on these calls, and she has coached me through some of my turmoil before. But sadly, I haven't been having the chance to see a lot of these now because my times just don't match up with her time schedule anymore. But if you guys are interested in an awesome live coach, go check out Kim Ann Curtin, who's actually having an awesome guest today, Jackaroo Trades, who made $1 million yesterday. So shout out to Jackaroo making $1 million off that big bounce yesterday. Anyways, let's start talking about some of the stocks that we might be interested for tomorrow. Before that, let's talk about our wonderful chat. We got TH in the house. Josh, what's up, Josh? Yes, it is the sec def. It is a hexet. I'm pretty sure it's hexet, or is it hex def? Or are you making a joke over there? It is hexet. Okay, so I thought you are making a joke. This is pretty funny. This guy has like apparently anti-church, anti-Christian tattoos or something. That's pretty funny. I mean, okay. No comment. No comment. No political comments. I only have comments related to market, right? But so far, looks like we are on the right path to World War III, ladies and gentlemen, as I predicted yesterday, because now not only are we going to talk about delisting China stocks, we're also going to talk about taking over the Panama Canal, which is a Chinese asset. So taking over the Panama Canal with use of military, and that means force. Military force war. So things are not going to head in the right direction here. You do get the pause on tariffs, so pause tariffs for 90 days, but let's kickstart the damn World War III, as Russia is going to possibly ignore the peace things. You got Iran. What's going on with Iran over there, right? Iran, I think US and Iran has what's it called, a meeting on Saturday for something, and they are going to some absolute craziness, the Houthis and so on. I mean, all of this is just seems like we are not heading in the right direction at all. So I can't see how the market is not fearful still, right? This is fear and greed meter. Let's go check it out again. Boom, we're now dropping back into 8. We were at 17 yesterday, dropping back into 8. I mean, it would make sense because the markets absolutely pooped themselves again and gave back a decent amount of yesterday's gains slash move, whatever you want to call it. But this is not good. I mean, I guess you could say, yeah, we reclaimed this area, sure, but this is still not good for the bulls, in my opinion. Let's see if now the market dies down on the volatility and you know, some ATR actually still going up. Wow. If market volatility dies down a little bit and we start slowing down on the ranges and go sideways once again, this is you know, ATR couple months ago was $8, $6, $7. Now you're at $19 ATR. Did the VIX go back up today? It did go back up to 56s, but right now at 40 for the VIX. So yeah, still a scary, fearful environment. We do have our good friend Victor H. Investing, who I wanted to have on stream. But I guess he doesn't like me anymore, so he doesn't want to show up to stream. Traders are making all the money off this insane volatility. That is right. Traders are having fun. But let me tell you one thing. There's a lot of traders also getting absolutely bent over and hurt. So it's not easy, man. It's not easy. But if you're resilient enough, there's so much opportunity that you can turn a bad day into a good day. You know, I did that the last few days, thankfully. So just gotta put your head down, look for the right opportunity, and go to work. Go to work. Let's talk about some stocks for tomorrow. Starting with, what the heck is this? I don't remember having all of those lines. Let's start with, where do we go with? Let's start with the China stocks, I guess. Yeah, let's start with China stocks. My watch list is, you know, it's going to be pretty repetitive. That's why I'm not trying to spend too much time spending on looking at actually a big watch list for myself, because this is all you really need, right? These are really the in-play names, and besides this, you know, there are going to be some other names that could move around here and there. But if you trade these names over here, in my opinion, and trade them well, that's all you really need. So let's start with Pinduoduo and the China sector. Out of the whole sector, as I mentioned, Baba is the only one who is still above its 200-day moving average. Why do I just randomly start making up some random number? Yesterday was 500. Today I was about to say 90. It's the 200. The 200-day moving average at $97. So right now you have a little box between, like, let's say 101. It's actually 110. Okay. If I remember correctly, yesterday and today we rejected right around that 101 area really well. Anyways, did we even reach 101 today? 101 was the low today. There you go. Yeah, so yesterday we rejected 101. Today we bounced off of 101. That makes sense. Closed green, closed red. Okay, so still pretty bearish. Closed red, and oh wow. Okay, what happened over here? Was that the news? Yes, that was the news, because I went to go take a shit and I missed on that move. It bounced, a little bounce off later on in the day, and in the after hours too, a little bounce. Pinduoduo, let's see if you bounced too. A little bounce on you too. Yeah, I guess you did bounce back. But these, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be a very high priority. Look at that level on Pinduoduo on the daily chart. You can also go on the hourly. Let me turn off the extended trading hours, and that is the hourly level right there. So getting below this little area and then staying weak under this area, already under the 200-day moving average, This is where things get very exciting for short sellers like me. I want to take advantage. I want to push as much short as I can. You can almost ignore, in my opinion, that little wick down over here. And if the stock is trading weak below 88 tomorrow, it's a home run short. Yeah, you have that possible bounce off of 87 tomorrow again, but if Pinduoduo is below 88 tomorrow, I'm so ready to smack this short tomorrow. So 88, 87 is the most important level for the stock to hold up, and if it doesn't hold that, let's go party, baby. Sadly, another stock that I want to do the same thing on is not potentially going to do that anytime soon, and this is a way more important name for me. I want to see the stock actually break this level way more than Baba, way more than Pinduoduo breaking their levels, because if you zoom out over here, this is a level from almost 2013. So if Baidu can get below 73, whatever this low is right here, 73.50s, that is some real fun to play with. But I don't know if we're gonna be that fortunate. Sadly, it's still going to play back and forth a little bit. Very good level for dip buyers, but if the whole Panama Canal thing escalates, the whole tariff war things escalate, and then we actually move into delisting China stocks, these are all negotiation tactics, right? And if hedge funds who are actually positioned in these China names are worried about these things, they're gonna have to offload their positions. Offload positions means hit the damn sell button. Give me my exit right now. I don't care what the price is. So if things like that start to take place, this should be something that you should be very, very ready for and have alerts set up. So I have that alert set up already, and I might even move that alert a little bit higher. It's at 74.28. I think that's actually fine because we really care about 73.50. So 74.38, basically 74 to 73.50. If that comes into play, it's absolute go time. There's no thinking about it. It's just press short as hard as you can time. In the whole time that you are trading these large cap Chinese names, you want to keep an eye on FXI. What I do is I have a chart full of screens, a screen full of charts, a chart full of screens, a screen full of charts, and on them I usually have sectors, right? So the first sector will be potentially the most important sector that I'm watching on the day. That means if I'm trading China, I'll have Baba, Pinduoduo, Baidu, FXI, FUTU, TIGR. I'll have that stock that I'm trading already up on the chart for me on my main trading screen, but on my secondary screen, I'll have all the other stocks in that sector pulled up along with the ETF. This way I know exactly how the sector is moving and so on. For another example, if I'm trading Nvidia or Apple or Google, I pull up all of its partners. So the Magnificent Seven gets pulled up on every single one of those charts. I always have a QQQ and S&P 500 open on my screen, so I don't have to do a special chart for that one. And then I'm always looking at how these charts are moving, get an idea. It's almost like a barometer. Get an idea of what these overall positions are doing and how that can affect my name, or is my name completely divergent from these names, from the market, at which point I just focus on what my name is doing. What are the candles telling me? What are the patterns telling me? What's the tape telling me? What's the level 2 and order book telling me? So focus on all those things over there. So just a couple tips for you guys who are interested, for my 2 viewers. Okay, so Baidu, don't think that one comes into play anytime soon, so I'm going to downgrade that from a purple to orange. Buy a Pinduoduo, 100% important, so it's purple. Potentially keeping that one open off the, watching this one right off the open. Weakness below 88 and 87. Love the short. Love the short if stock is weak below support zone. And if it bounces off of that and market's green too, then we potentially have some sort of a long opportunity on Pinduoduo. But we're given the whole China scare, I am more interested in shorting pops on Chinese stocks than looking to go long on them, because we are always one bad news away from Trump and the whole China sector from these stocks dumping down again. So I'd much rather short pops and have a hard stop instead of looking to go long and then you know, get wiped out, sadly. So I think there's more luck on the short side than the long side, but at the end of the day, it's just rolling the dice, right? It's rolling the dice. You don't know what side the news is going to come out, and if you're on the right side, you get lucky because you were positioned for it. That's all it is. It's a very headline driven volatile market. BABA is above the 200-day moving average, so no shorting breakdowns. I'm only looking to short pops. So today, BABA actually gave you a very solid tight range, and things like that are very exciting. So if you get a tight range like that, looking to take that breakdown almost 100 times out of 100 times, right? Maybe I lose 40 times out of 100 and I win 60 times, and the 60 times that I win, I make, let's say, what is that, $3? So for 60 times I win, I make $3. For the 40 times I lose 25 to 50 cents. You do the math. I come out a winner big time over the long run by doing that. So very tight range over here. You get a false breakout of the opening range high. Good spot to short right there, actually, on that false breakout of the opening range high, and then move back down. You got an opportunity to get short here somewhere, opportunity to short the opening range low, and then get a nice move down. So something like this on a pop back tomorrow, I'm interested. With given this news over here with possible delisting, I mean, it's not a fresh news. It's a news that has been there for quite some long time now, and people are more worried about it now than they were previously. So if that fear does come into play, this is the one over here to focus on, in my opinion. Apple. What are you doing these days, Apple? I haven't looked at you in a long time. Down 4% today with the rest of the market. Maybe we can actually have you open for now. I don't even use this watch list anymore. Let's just go back to the crack list. Yeah, let's just go back to the crack list. Apple. Maybe I do stay on the daily, because the crack list is way too many stocks. I get overwhelmed by it. My heart already starts beating a little quicker just having that many stocks up there. Apple. I don't see a trade. I honestly don't see a trade at all. Maybe you can say under over 200, you know, even $200. I don't see a trade for myself to participate in. Amazon hourly chart does look a little bit better to participate with, and I think that's part of the reason why I keep watching Amazon to trade for. And I found a trade on Amazon today because of that. So the hourly chart on Amazon looks a little bit cleaner, but I guess you could say it's the same thing. They're all market at the end of the day. It's just you're trading the overall market. If the market's going up, you get lucky trading some of these names. If the market's going down, if you're short, you get lucky trading some of these names. So that's all it is on these ones. As for zones, I mean, you see how strong that hold is on 500 on Meta. If Meta breaks below 500 again and goes back into 480 and then breaks 480, yeah, sayonara Meta to the downside. For now, it looks like we do have buyers stepping up a little bit. That's a good thing. Nvidia did go back down today slightly, down 6%. Not sure if we see $100 again. Depends on what the market wants to do with that one. But I think my importance on some of these large cap stocks are going to slow down a bit. I lie. That's not going to happen. That's an absolute lie. I'm going to look at them, but I really don't have a concrete hard plan on what to do with these names at all. Most of these names are, why did I go to MLGO? Most of these names are, you know, they have such big range candles from the last few days that I have no clue what to do. So I'll be patient. I'll be looking to see how today's VWAP today's high, today's low plays out on all these names, and how does the stock react to these levels. If it reacts well to these levels, then I might trade off of those levels. Reacting well meaning it shows me resistance off of today's high, shows me support off of today's low, or shows me a good flag or a 5-minute pattern around these levels, then I'll gladly make a trade off of that. Otherwise, I'm staying away with that bad boy. Moving forward from the large cap, which will always be on watch for me, Palantir, what are you doing? I know I looked at you today off the open, and I did think there were some trades on Palantir today. Look at that nice opening range breakdown. There was a little back and forth over here to participate in, but I stayed away from it. I think I made the right call. But it's always in the back burner for me to keep an eye on. Let's go to some of the more important stocks for tomorrow. KMX, I think, would be a good one to keep an eye on. You can see a big volume spikes, but you know, I read the earnings report. They actually reported well, but down 17% after reporting Q4 results and disclosing it missed on EPS estimates. So they did miss EPS slightly. They missed, I think, revenue slightly also. But dropping the way they did is pretty surprising to me, because the revenue did not decrease. So they're still increasing revenue year over year, and a bunch of their sectors that people might care about are also increasing. KMX, if I remember, is a secondhand car sale, secondhand car store, right? Very close to Carvana. So PE 22, not bad. I mean, I can show you Carvana PE, and that one looks absolutely horrible. Well, it used to be 29,300, but now it's only 129. But KMX, you know, not bad PE, but getting below some of these important levels over here and staying weak below them gave me that beautiful short. I mean, look at that flag, beautiful flag forming right into last month's low. So taking that breakdown, nice and easy short opportunity right there. And that is going to be, oh, look at that, right? Nice flag again forming in this area. I guess not flag, consolidation. So if the stock is able to show you weakness around this area tomorrow, and stay weak under 67.50, I think there's still a short back into 63. But if it's reclaiming 67.50 and getting back above it, that's going to be no more shorts. You can even potentially look long. Granted that the stock actually didn't have that bad of an earnings report. PE of only 22, that's not bad either. So if you're looking for some sort of a day 2 opportunity, that's your inflection level in my opinion. If stock can reclaim 67.50, no shorts for me. Only short if stock is weak under. And that's the only thing I'm really caring about. I don't really need to put notes on Baidu, because I've been game planning this trade for so long that I already know what to do for it. I don't even need to type any notes for that one. And now the more fun sector, which honestly I think is going to be the names that I'm going to watch the most tomorrow in pre-market or off the open. I mean, these are the bank names. What are reporting tomorrow pre-market? Let me quickly show you the picture for that. JPM, BlackRock, or no, I'm not gonna make that joke. JPM, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley. Those are the 3 names I care about. If I can quickly go to TradingView, or no, Twitter, and open up Earnings Whispers, and then we go to the big calendar that they post. That is a very busy week coming up. Netflix next week. We got where's the other big companies? What the heck? Why the heck? My blind chat. Tesla, there you go. I am blind. Why the heck? Lockheed Martin, AT&T, Boeing, Intel, Pepsi. Where's the other big companies? Don't these large tech stocks all report on the same week usually? Okay, so Tesla, Netflix, maybe this week. Okay, there you go. Microsoft, Qualcomm. Where's Google? We got Apple. No Google here, no Google yet. I'm not seeing Google. Meta and Microsoft, okay. The two M's are reporting together. Spotify, that's a big name. Some of these names are still above their 200-day moving average, so that will be very interesting for trading and for swingers and so on. For swing traders. I'm not seeing. Oh, Alphabet. That's why I'm not seeing Google. Where's Alphabet? I completely forgot. It's Alphabet. Where's Alphabet? Pretty sure their logo is just straight up just written Alphabet, right? Can't find it. I give up, chat. But oh, Disney. Did Nike break 60? No, Nike actually got back to the downside. So I guess I don't need to put Nike on my watch list. Oh, maybe I do need to put Nike on my watch list. Never mind. Hold up. If Nike breaks to 52 to the downside, that could be a short there, ladies and gentlemen. That could be a short down to 47. So set your alerts. Set your alerts on that one. Why did I look at this name? Why did I look at this name? Alright, so if Nike gets below 52, if week under 52, get short, no questions. Okay, so 52 will be something to keep an eye on. It's actually 52, what is it, 52.28? Really? Where'd you get 28 from, bro? Was today's low? I guess I don't need to put a marker then, because I already have a program that will mark it for me. So 52.28, I'm just gonna put 52.30/52. Banks, I can't really talk about levels on banks honestly, because the pre-market, these levels might not even come into play. So depending on how they're reporting pre-market, it could jump up to the upside, it could jump to the downside. I don't know what direction they're gonna go. Your guess is as good as mine, and I hate gambling on earnings like that, so I can't even tell you anything on that side. JP Morgan though, in scary environments, banks are the ones that actually take a hit. So if that's the case, you might want to be careful trading some of these ones to the long side, because even if they do report well, if the market is weak, these ones could just have a natural overall bearish weakness sentiment weighing down on them. But maybe if the reports are really good, then they don't really care about what the market is doing, and they might just rally all day, and they might actually help the market out by rallying tomorrow. We'll see what happens. So 3 big banks reporting, and those are already on the watch list: Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, and Wells Fargo. I have the market on the watch list too. It kind of did what I wanted it to, right? It basically closed above these 3 days highs, but didn't bounce off of those 3 days highs as I thought it would. So still a little bit of a question mark on what the market will actually do for the next few days, weeks, months. For at least for the next 90 days, I think people are still in a big question mark. CPI did come out a little better, but that, like I said, CPI was for last month. So now as inflation is getting tested again with the help of tariffs, we'll start seeing how that starts changing, right? We'll start seeing how that starts changing down the line. So still very much a question mark on the overall market. I'm not bullish, I'm not bearish, and I think that was the bias that helped me really look for some trades and nail the trades today that I hunted. Instead of having a bias, I completely stayed away. I wasn't extremely bullish, I wasn't extremely bearish. I took advantage of it. Moving on from the market really quickly, last but not least, I have the crypto sector. So MSTR, once again, if this one starts moving back to the downside and actually breaking these lows, that's when MSTR starts ringing the alarms for me. Where did my hello? Someone deleted my alarms? Who deleted my alarms? This is when my alerts start to go off. So if we actually start getting a move back to the downside, on this sector. So Coinbase, IBIT is actually a great one to keep an eye on once Bitcoin starts making that low, because this is breaking 200-day moving average, and it's also breaking that nice even $43 area where it recently bounced from. A lot of hedge funds are currently holding this name, and if Bitcoin starts breaking, they're gonna have to sell their positions. You know, it's because they are offering a cryptocurrency equivalent. So if they're offering cryptocurrency equivalents to their investors, they have to track whatever Bitcoin is doing, and if Bitcoin is doing that, this is naturally going to get dumped down as they dump their holdings. I'm not sure if they get short, but they have to dump their holdings to you know, be delta neutral. So that one will be pretty. I'm not even sure delta neutral is the right word to use, but they have to dump their position to match the overall market. So that will be very, very fun to see this one breaking down below to the south side. Also, oil companies, what are you saying about oil companies, TH? Actually, the oil companies are the stocks taking it on the chin. CVX down 30 points, really. I know they're reporting. Oh, baby, what in the world happening over here to the oil companies? I know there was an alert in my ear through Benzinga Squawk today that oil production is now going to be increased. Oh, man, that's a level. Oh, T8, sometimes I want to kiss you. That is a level. All right, let's see if that one comes into play. Oh, TH, if you were here, I'll put my tongue down your throat. I'm joking, that's so gross. Maybe this is why I got fired from Trader TV Live, because I take shit too far down, too far out of line. Okay, so 132.58 was the further line that I just marked in. Today's low is 133.45, and the more recent low, this is the September 2024 low, is 135.36. So you basically have a zone from 132 to 135, 132.50 to 135. And if the stock can get into the zone again and stay weak below it, I think you got some real downside opening up on this one also. So putting an alert on this one. I'm not sure if we see this one actually coming into fruition tomorrow, but with already some action. And you know, we're already seeing some action in the crude oil sector. Let's actually go check out crude oil futures. Oh, baby, look at that. Look at that. So more production incoming, I think, across the board. And obviously more production means more supply. Demand is equal or lower, and hence prices will be lower. So if that gets to play out that way, keep an eye on crude futures themselves. That is a pretty good nosedive, and them taking a nosedive obviously means the whole sector. I mean, this one has been taking a beating ever since Warren Buffett stopped holding. That one's, wow. What a nice breakdown over there. Where were you when I needed this one? What the heck? Why didn't you tell me this was breaking down? Come on, dude. This is such a clean breakdown over here. Ah, come on. You tell me now after 4 days that the oil sector is taking a beating? Come on, dude. Nah, I'm joking. But this is awesome. XOM taking a beating too, but if you ask me, this is a lot of buying in XOM over here. Oxy was probably one of the cleanest ones, because we do know that Buffett is now cash, right? Buffett is cash, and he has been actually holding up Oxy for a really long time, and with him out of the game, for the fear of Trump, I guess is what I'm gonna call it. From fear of Trump, Buffett is out of the game for a while. He's sitting on 300 billion cash, and that just adds extra fuel to the fire over here. And this being an oil name really caught fire to the downside. So wow, what a clean breakout on the daily chart. And I think honestly, you can still join the breakout over here. There's still a second chance for the breakout to continue breaking out below 34.70. But I think if there is actually a better trade, it might just end up being on Chevron, because this breakdown over here looks much better opportunity now. The other ones almost look like they already made that trade. For example, XOM right there made that trade. Now XOM could have a breakdown of these range low, which is right around $98, $97.80. If it does break that, there is a chance we go down to 95, 96. So that is a pretty good short opportunity, right? You're shorting 98 for a look to see if the stock goes down to 96, and then maybe we go lower than 96. But I think it doesn't hurt to keep an eye on, actually. You know what? I'll stop being lazy. I'll put an eye on it. I'll put it in my watch list. This one was, what is it, 97.80. 97.80 to 98. If week below 98, look to get short for a move into 96 and lower. I also want to go check quickly what both of their their PE is. CVX 13. Okay, this is one that might make me a little turned off on the shorts, right? CVX 13, XOM 13 also, and that is what's going to turn me off a little bit on the shorts. But hey, if I'm playing technicals and if I'm playing charts, that really shouldn't matter at that point, right? So if we get that technical breakdown, I think I'm ready to participate in that breakdown for sure. Banks, crypto, we got oil sector, and I think I should thank you guys for putting the oil sector on watch for me. Is there anything else that you guys want me to talk about? Google 04 24 25, so that's 24th of April 2025. Thank you to Momo. Hi Momo, how are you doing? Hopefully you're not still long Ford, because goddamn, market's getting destroyed and that stock is probably dying along with it. Hey Prad, do you use any... Oh, I know this guy. What the hell? This guy used to trade on the trading floor with me. Parsa, haven't seen you in a long time, buddy. How you doing? Hey Prad, do you use any specific software for streaming? Basic streaming software. I think OBS is the one I use, but there's a bunch of other ones out there. 2 viewers, 10 watching. Ooh, your boy is getting bigger now, ladies and gentlemen. If that's the case, perfect time to insert ad over here. So let me quickly talk about my sponsors of the day. Benzinga, TraderSync, Trade Ideas, and Flash Research. If you guys are interested in using awesome tools and softwares that I use every single day to day trade, for example, KTTA, I wouldn't be able to get that awesome short if it wasn't for Flash Research. I wouldn't be able to get the awesome short also on KTTA if it wasn't for Benzinga today. It wouldn't be available, or I wouldn't be able to track my awesome trade if it wasn't for TraderSync, and I wouldn't be able to come up with this awesome trade idea if it wasn't for Trade Ideas, who helped me with back testing and creating scanners and all other tools. So these are all the 4 tools that I depend on a day-to-day basis, and you can now check them out and get awesome discounts. So click the links below in the description. Quickly gonna head over to the last few things on the day over here, which is the IPO sector. Don't see anything on the IPO sector that I care about, but I did hear a lot of stocks were IPOing today. My goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4, because the Benzinga squawk guy just non-stop. He's like, oh, IPO here, IPO there, IPO here, IPO there. I was like, what are these IPOs? But they were pretty garbage IPOs at the end of the day. We did have CPI today, so tomorrow, usually after CPI, you have PPI. So there we go. We got core PPI. Michigan inflation numbers also coming out at 10 o'clock. So given the market sentiment, or sorry, market environment, these numbers could potentially move the market. The algos now are acting very weird, so be pretty careful. Baker oil rig count. I'm not sure if this affects oil movements, but the crude oil speculative move number over there, some commodity numbers are coming out later on in the day. We just looked at the oil stocks right now not too long ago, so potentially make sure that you're watching out to see how these numbers can potentially hurt those stocks over there, or hurt your trade if you are in them. But the core thing will be, or the main thing will be 8:30 in my opinion, and then 10 o'clock. So that will be where markets will potentially move around a little bit. And you also have on top of that, you know, Trump comments. You always have Trump comments, so always have that in the back pocket to add to the market volatility and the market spiciness. Is there actually a way to see what is it, White House calendar? Oh shit, there is. Is this like on the day of, or 1 day after? You know, you probably get this info afterwards. This is just like a log. At that point, this is not good enough for me. I need to see what's happening on the day of, or at least the next day, you know? Well, I gotta see if this one works, as I think it should, hopefully, which means I get to see it tomorrow, and we get to see tomorrow's date and all the possible events that Trump's actually talking about. I'm gonna try and save this link for myself, and I'll let you guys know after to see if it works. So tune in Monday, because sadly no more streams for the rest of the week. Final stream of the week over here tomorrow, Friday. I wish you guys an awesome Friday. Let's see if we get Free Fall Friday, or if we get a boring nothing burger Friday tomorrow. It's time to actually rewind a little bit of the outro, and for me to kiss you guys goodbye. Thank you for hanging out with me. I love doing this, even though you know, it's just the two people. No, I'm joking. I love to everyone who's here: Momo, TH, Parsa, Victor, Dieter. If there's any other names that I'm forgetting right now, John, Josh, Bilzinger. So all of you people who watch me on the daily, I appreciate it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Have a great day on the market. See you Monday. Peace. Ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here, back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors: Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.